Okay, so welcome to DivaSpeaks Relationships. You have just tuned in to the hottest grown folk relationship podcast out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I want to say welcome, right? Welcome. Like, welcome. I cannot get yesterday out of my head. So, welcome to Diva Speaks Relationships. Again, this is the Sunday Soul Food Soulful edition. I have a very special co-host. Miss Ivory K will be joining today's conversation, and we're going to chop it up about some things and some necessary conversations. Don't you agree?
I do agree. I am ready. Are y'all ready out there?
They can't answer, but you better be.
And tune in.
Okay.
And get ready.
Get ready.
My little fuzzy slippers. I'm all comfortable.
Normally I would say it like Bishop Jake say. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Well, I think it's Jubilee or Juvenile. Get it ready, get it ready, get it ready now.
We're going to switch it up for y'all.
We're going to switch it up. But listen, before I get into the show, guys, I always like to acknowledge my loyal fan base, my loyal supporters. Thank you for this, your support throughout this amazing journey. Because of you guys believing in me, because of you guys supporting the content, Diva Speaks Relationship Podcast is now an actual talk show that you can view on Access 21 via Spectrum Cable, AT&T UVerse, or if you possess a Roku television, you can access the Diva every second and fourth Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you cannot access my show through those channels, don't worry about it. If you have basic internet or access to the Wi-Fi, you can actually go to the station's website or my personal website and stream. Well, no, let me back up. You can view the videos of my show through the station's website on the video on demand feature, and you can actually go to my website. But if you want to see the show live, go to tvaccess21.com. Again, that is tvaccess21.com every second and fourth Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The new episode will be available this Friday night, and the topic is, oh my God, I've been drinking. What is the topic? Oh, protecting your relationship. So the Diva is going to get into it. I'm going to check off a few boxes for you. For those of you who have not done your due diligence with protecting your relationship, the conversation is needed and necessary. So for those of you who haven't been following me on my social media, I'll give you just a little bit of taste of what I'm going to be talking about. So, we've always been taught to protect our families, right? For those of you who have children and who have raised children, you've been taught to protect your children at all costs, correct? And as it relates to your banking information, your social security number, and your credit, you've been taught to protect those things because you value them. But I don't think we have had enough conversations about protecting your relationship with the same mindset and that same energy. So the Diva is going to discuss with you on this Friday night how to protect your relationship and from what and from who. Okay. So mark your calendars, mark it on your iPhone so we can get into it, guys, and you can support me in that journey. And for those of you who don't know, I have actually posted up my Cash App. So for those of you who got a few coins in your pocket and you want to bless the Diva on the journey because it goes back into the show, whether it is for the editing or the lighting, as you can see, those of you who have followed my television show, my lighting on my shows is actually improved because of your donations. So if you want a better show, help the Diva out. My Cash App right now, I'm on my podcast live. You can Cash App me at the $ and Gala, ANGALA, Palmore, PALMORE, Gal, GAL. So bless me with the Cash App. Get them coins in. Think of this as a sort of gifts and offerings. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, I'll talk about my social media channels and my email address later. You came here for some conversation, so let me deliver. Woo-cha. I'm tired now. I felt like that was a whole show.
You do.
So, yeah, I'm ready. So before we was thigh bopping yesterday, we were having a conversation. We was having a conversation over breakfast, brunch, whatever the hell it was. We was enjoying the meal. So Ivory and I, we were talking about as it was just relationships and people of the opposite sex. Now, whether you are a man or a woman, people who tend to be interested in your partner, whether that's your spouse or your boo, baby mama, baby dad, significant other, whatever title they possess that you have given them, whether, whatever they are, when people of the opposite sex are interested in your mate. And let's just say your mate has a weakness of sorts, right? And they have a misstep, a mishap, and some inappropriate conversations and actions take place. That's how I wanna, paint the picture. Ivory and I was discussing some things, and I said, it's easy for a woman or a man to feel vindicated and to get up on your high horse when you feel that the person that you're in a relationship with has dipped out and they're creeping around with somebody who is not as attractive as you are, who may not be as educated as you are, who may not possess as many coins as you have, whose bank account is not even half as big. They don't have half the class. Their hair may not be as pretty. Their waist may not be as snatched. Her skin is not glowing flawlessly and effortlessly like yours is. She's not put together oh so well like you are. And it feels so vindicating when that bitch can't hold a candle to you. I think Beyonce sung about it in that Lemonade album when she was like, I think when Jay-Z dipped out, and she was like, to know that she's not even half the woman that I am or something like that. And she's something, but she took half of me, or she's had half of me. It's easy to feel good about yourself when you feel that the other person can't hold a candle to you. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all need to go ahead and tag a friend and tell them to watch the Diva or to tune into the podcast. But don't worry, if they can't, if they're busy, if they're tied up, I'm going to make this available for distribution. DivaSpeaks Relationship Podcast is available wherever you get your podcast from. I'm literally everywhere, including Audible, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. So don't worry, sit back, relax. We're going to talk about this. So be as it may, I can remember, Ivory, when I was married, my very first marriage, because I'm on marriage number 2, boo. I was born a wife, honey. Okay, I will be a wife. Okay, so anyway, the end. But in my first marriage, I remember experiencing infidelity. And I remember how troubling it was to my spirit and how it crippled my self-esteem. For a hot minute, it did. And I remember wondering what the other women, because it was multiple women, what the other women looked like, as if that should matter. Now I know better. I'm in my 40s. I'm twice the age I was in my first marriage. But there's a part of you that want to know what she looked like. What does she have that I don't have? Or what it is that attracted him to her versus staying with what you got. I got everything you need. You gave me your last name. You gave me your seed. So what the hell are you out here dipping around in other lady parts for? And I remember feeling like the person that I just described. Oh, that's what we're doing. That's what you decided to give up your marriage for, or that is what you jeopardized your marriage, your relationship for that? Oh, Ivy, isn't that so easy to do when you feel like you're a step above what they dipped out on you? Oh, baby, it is so, don't excuse the French. This is a grown folk conversation. It is so fucking vindicating when you can say, oh, you can do better than that. But what happens when he does? What happens when you're not able to make that argument? What happens when you find out that the person that you are in a relationship with is actually stepping out on you with somebody who's 10 times more beautiful, a step up, an upgrade of sorts? Maybe she is as beautiful, if not more. Maybe she's on your level. Maybe your woman or maybe your man has a type. And if you know your woman or your man, you know that person is probably more than likely on your level, if not a younger version of you. What do you say then? Are you still feeling yourself at that point? Or do we need to have that conversation? Because I think we definitely need to have that conversation, because so long, because it's all about being aesthetically pleasing to the eye, because we've been fooled, Miss Ivory, that men are visual creatures. So follow me here, because I'm gonna go back and forth over that fence. Okay. I'm gonna straddle the fence a little bit. That men are visual beings. That rod gets real stiff at what he deems to be aesthetically pleasing to his eyes. And that muscle. So if she could make it do what it do, the same that I can make it do what it do, what is the fucking difference between me and her? What are your thoughts, Miss Ivory? Because we're going to get it. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about this and the story that just broke.
Well, first and foremost, when you have to ask yourself.
Hold on. Go ahead.
What's the difference?
Miss Sydney, I'm on the live. I'm live on the air now. I'm going to have to call you back. I can multitask, people. Go right ahead.
So, as we know, when we faced with that situation where I know in the world we live in, many of us have been faced with that situation.
And I was very transparent. I was faced with those issues in my first marriage.
And I was as well. And it was a slap in the face.
Girl, can we talk about the slap in the face?
It was a slap in the face.
In the face. I can remember finding out in the worst way that my first husband had fathered a child with a chick. And I can remember seeing that woman face to face for the very first time. Girl, can I tell you where? Can I tell you how?
Tell me, honey.
I was going through McDonald's drive-through window. I didn't know her from a can of paint. She made it a point to introduce herself.
Was she a McDonald's employee?
Yeah, I said I was in the drive-through windows at McDonald's. I don't work at McDonald's. I'm a corporate bitch. I've been in corporate America for 27 years, okay? Do the math. I can remember saying, this has got to be a joke. I can remember this has got to be a joke. Right. Like, this is not only someone that you dipped out of your marriage with, but you were reckless. You went up in her raw and you fathered a child with a woman that I probably could not tell if she suffered from Down syndrome or not. But let's get real with it. Let's be real about this, because we're going to talk about, like we talked about it yesterday while we were having breakfast. Now, I may have been feeling myself in the weeks and the months and I only stayed with him a year after that. In the year after that. But how much different would it have went had she been somebody on my line? Had she been a Halle Berry? A Vivica Fox?
Had she been a diva like yourself?
Had she been a Beyonce? Do you know how that would have been the nail on the coffin, in the coffin, so to speak? But we don't talk about that. Why is it that we don't talk about? Because, a lot of side chicks would say, and I'm not rallying for the side chick. I haven't never been the side chick to the best of my knowledge. I've never been a side chick. But in defense of a lot of side chicks out here, it's a lot of beautiful side chicks out here who are 10 times aesthetically above
and beyond
the spouses.
Yep.
Whether that's the side chick or the side dude, I think we need to do away with the narrative that feeds the ego of the spouse that says the side chick has got to be 2 notches below you, because that is not always the case. Because, my friends, if that was always the case, how are so many athletes and celebrities getting caught up with the Instagram models? How are they stepping outside of their relationships for people that what you think should be 10 notches below you, but these be some bad bitches? Which brings me to the conversation at hand. So yesterday, it was all over the internet that relationship guru Derek Jackson, and I've been a fan, I followed him, that he's been stepping out on his wife. I'm not here to judge. I'm not even here to talk about what he's been doing. It's not my business. As a married woman and as a Christian, I respect his right to be human and to have an occasional fuck up. That's for his wife and God to deal with him, not me. But let me just tell you, I saw pictures of this young woman. Now, his wife is a very attractive Black woman who's your everyday Black woman that you are going to see and that you would meet face to face in the streets. She's the type of woman that you would go to church with. I mean, she has a natural, beautiful glow, your everyday, typical Black woman, size and all. Everything about her says she's relatable.
Absolutely.
But then you see the pictures of the woman that he's been cheating with and bringing home to his marital bed to have a relationship with. And you can't say that she's not ugly. She's not less attractive than the wife either.
I got something good for you though.
Go give it to me. Thigh popping.
She may not be ugly.
But
I'm going to tell you where, as the spouse,
you better preach.
and as the woman,
the audience want to hear.
As his wife,
what?
I'm winning. And I'm going to tell you how.
Oh, baby, we've been waiting on this. See, I didn't want to get high up on my horses, guys, but I needed Miss Ivory to bring it home. Come on, tell me. And no, stop. Let me say this. This is for the wives who may be dealing with something like this on this level. This is for you wives who have felt a major blow to your self-esteem because you feel like you can't compete.
But I'm going to tell you how you already won, sis. She may be the side chick. She may be younger. She may have, her boobs may be more lifted because you've got
then mine
than yours, Diva.
Look at, but wait a minute.
Babies.
Look at these puppies right here.
We can get us a good bra, girl.
Okay.
Look, okay. So,
okay, go ahead.
But what you aren't is distasteful.
Excuse me?
You are not distasteful.
What does that mean?
This side chick is distasteful. What does she feel about herself that not only would she have an affair, knowingly or unknowingly, but you're going to a home.
Going to the home.
Where another woman lays her head.
And raises their children.
When we walk into a home, we know if that home has another woman in it.
Well,
you know that wasn't a bachelor pad.
Well, she even admitted on Unwind with Tasha K that she was in the bathroom and how she noticed that all of her personal hygiene products were still left. That is so low class. I'm sorry.
So as a wife,
why are you going through people's things? Oh, wait a minute. We got some comments. Hold on. Hey, Diva, as a man, I agree. We are visual. But in the end, looks aren't that important for me personally. Speak, brother. But Glenn, if you've been following me, sweetheart, I got to play both sides of the fence to give equal footing to both sides of the argument. So I go back and forth, but I side with you 100%. A man has spoken. A man has spoken. I'm going to read what Glenn said once again. Hey, Diva. Hey, boo. As a man, I agree we are visual, but in the end, looks aren't that important for me personally. Oh, Glenn. So for those of you who are on my podcast right now, if you want to see the Diva live, I am live right now on Facebook from my DivaSpeaks page, which is facebook.com/True Diva Speaks. I'm live for the first time in a long time, drinking wine and eating strawberries. But go ahead and speak, my sister.
So as a wife, it's degrading. It's hurtful. The man that you love, you've given your soul to. You've given him children. You have fed him in more ways than one.
No. Speak on that. You have fed him.
You have fed him
in more ways than one.
Uh-huh. You have fed him with a meal. You have fed him sexually in the bedroom. You have fed him with the Holy Spirit. You have fed him with allowing him to lay his head in your bosom when he has come home from a hard day.
Can I talk about
still?
Go ahead.
The need,
right, to go outside.
Of what it is that you're feeding him every day.
You see, another part that we don't talk about, because I gotta forget that I have an audience, and this is when we flow best. When I forget, when we just one-on-one. You talk about all the things that we are to men, and I say we because I'm a woman, number one. Number two, I'm a wife, second time around, and I love to speak when I say we. I'm not talking about my fucking relationship. I have to make that clear. Some people are silly.
They be like, "Oh, she going through something."
I ain't going through shit.
Right.
But his money.
Okay.
Hey, baby, I know you listening. Let's talk about, you talk about all the things that we feed him. How about allowing your body to be used by your man when he's frustrated? Allowing him to release not on you, but in you. Absorbing that energy, absorbing the impact. Can I talk about it? Are we going to have some freaking grown folk conversation? When your man has been beat up by the world, when your man is out there having a rough day, you allow him, okay? We're going to say minister to your body, but we know it's much bigger than that. I'll allow you to beat it up how you deem necessary so that you can get all of that frustration out of your system, so that you can sleep peacefully tonight, so that you can release, relax, and gather yourself. And you mean to tell me that you see the need to dump all of this inside of my body cavity, dump all of that angry energy and frustration out on me, got me walking around the house feeling sore as fuck, and she gets the best of you? Because mistresses don't get to absorb the impact of the spouse. Go ahead, Diva. We're going to talk about it, or we're going to talk about it? Okay, we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it.
It's degrading. It is hurtful. I've been on that side. It was, as stated, a slap in the face. Because everything that we've built from the ground up,
right?
You've taken, let's say 10%, 20%, 30%, 50% of it, and you have given it over to someone else who isn't worthy of it.
She's not worthy.
No, she's not worthy, but you've given it to her freely.
Or he's not worthy.
Talk about it, Diva.
He's not worthy.
Absolutely.
So you're going to go step out on your man for abs, chest, and biceps because he's all chocolatey and ripped. Your man and probably let himself go. So see, I gotta do diligence to both sides of the argument.
That happens.
Your man may have let himself go because he is out here working hard for the family, for you, to afford you the accommodations that you occupy currently, for you to be able to go out to the lunches and the brunches and the breakfasts with your girlfriends and take the girlfriends' trips, buy the purses and do the post on social media. Or if you're not posting up on social media, you're definitely posting up with your girlfriends on the weekends with the coins that your husband has worked so hard to bring home to you. So you feel, okay, taking weekend trips with your girlfriend, vacations and staycations, and now you got the nerve to want to trade in the loving for a more chiseled model of the man who is taking care of you and who thought so highly of you as to give you his last name and a permanent change of address. You little slut. You little slut. You ungrateful slut. Because see, We talking about the men. I got to talk about the women too.
Absolutely.
I got to talk about the women too.
Absolutely.
Because my male followers don't play that. They said, Diva, you better start acting like you like us. I said, okay, boo.
She loved it, y'all. Absolutely.
I see you, Glenn, baby. I'm gonna get to you, but you feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what we're doing now. So we're so vain in society now that we are trading in our partners
for what we assume is going to be better. But I'm gonna tell you a couple of things that's happening with that. You are breaking your soul ties. You are belittling your character. You are setting yourself up for STDs, possibly HIV.
Oh,
herpes. You are bringing home to your significant other things that person has released in you.
Oh, girl, my granola drop. Would you say that again, please?
You are bringing home to your spouse, your significant other, your husband, what someone else
has released in you.
How dare you?
And that is a spiritual exchange of sorts.
Yes.
Is it not?
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that is a desecration of your body as well.
Right.
Because I'm thinking, Lord forbid, I would never. But I'm thinking, again, Lord forbid, I would never. I'm thinking that if I did lose my mind fucking temporarily and start sleeping with another man, like, I can't even see myself allowing a man to release in me the same way that my husband releases in me.
Touching you and
in no capacity, because I'm like, that's crazy how the music timed out when I did that dramatic pause. I just don't see how another person can occupy that level of intimacy in my life. Like, at that point, when I start delivering the goods to another, you no longer are that special. But I want to come back to, let's go back to the subject at hand.
And unfortunately, Diva, people are so accustomed to saying I'm sorry that they're saying it prematurely.
What do you mean? They're saying it before they actually mean it?
They're saying it with no purpose and no meaning. We're having this infidelity.
Correct.
And then we're saying, I'm sorry, I don't want to lose you. But, let's keep in mind, family, cheating is a choice. It's not a mistake.
She said that cheating is a choice and it is not a mistake, for those of you in the back who didn't hear.
It's intentional.
She said it is intentional. For those of you who are in the back, it is well thought out.
And always planned.
Oh, the level of premeditation, girl.
And it always starts with, hey, how you doing? When you have to stop.
Come on now. Come through.
Have to hide
come through.
Your cellular device.
Come through.
Guess what? You having conversations that's about to lead you down the road that you can't come back from.
Baby, you laying the groundwork for that thing.
Come on now.
You know what? I've been posting, within the last 60 days, I got to, do the times range. Cheating never starts in the freaking bedroom.
Never.
It starts with conversation. It starts with lusting over people on the internet and then having those private exchanges. It starts with comparing your significant other to the people that you are lusting over online. Does it not?
It does.
I'm just giving a few examples. It could also start, let me talk to you people who get up and go to work every day. It starts with those lingering lunches. It starts with those consistent lunches and looking forward to having lunch.
A work husband.
I don't play that.
I don't play that. Your work wife.
Work wife, work husbands.
No, we're not going to be that close, but we have work husbands and work wives.
Because words have power.
Yes. Be mindful of what you say.
Words have power.
There's no work husband. There is no work wife.
I wish there was. You better get my bail money. You better get my bail money.
You better talk about it.
Listen, I'm a lady of a particular means and caliber. But don't push me. Don't push me.
I can show you, but I can never tell you.
I am not beneath cutting you.
Whipping that ass.
I will cut you.
Okay.
I can't fight.
Diva, tell it.
I cannot fight. I ain't never had to fight.
Right.
So take it for what it's worth.
Tell it.
I ain't gonna shoot you with a gun. You know,
I will cut you.
I would cut that ass. As if I'm Dr. Miami. Oh.
And it's not because we're fighting over a man.
No, I am.
What you gonna do? You gonna need
whoever last name I wear, I will fight over you.
Come on now.
Whoever last name I wear, I will fight over you.
Bring that.
If I got to absorb the impact of your frustration, honey, when the world has spoken against you, if I got to absorb that impact into my body and be strong enough to take that shit and still go to the top of the mountain with you, baby, I will fight over you and I will beat your ass in the end. Don't play me. Why you give me this liquor doing a podcast? I'm sorry, guys.
Sip it, y'all. Sip it, Diva.
I'm sorry, guys. Glenn says, wow, from cheating to HIV, that escalated quickly. And Glenn, that's how quickly life comes at you. Period. You think it's not that serious? I just watched a video on TikTok, Diva. And by the way, if you didn't know, when I call another woman diva, that is my way of addressing her and expressing my appreciation. The highest form of respect that I give to another woman is when I say, hey, diva, I acknowledge that you and I are on the same level.
Come on.
I'm looking at you and I see me.
Yes, ma'am.
That's how I do it. That's how I roll.
Ma'am.
Okay. But do you know, I watched this story on TikTok. And people are editing the video with this woman went to her gynecologist for her regular women, the well woman checkup. And her test didn't come back clean. She was diagnosed with HIV. And she thought the doctor had called her by mistake. She says the doctor told her that she had it. And she said she hadn't been with anybody else but her husband. Well, as the story unfolds, long story short, he didn't get it from another woman. He'd been sleeping around with other men. He was on the down low and he'd given her HIV and she was pregnant.
Now, if that ain't a slap in the face, cheating is one thing to be cheated on and he's cheating on you or she's cheating on you. Now, some men may get a joy out of two women together. But baby, when it gets to a point.
You're a butt powder. Come on now.
Excuse me, and you don't see me as beauty. And you want to go out there and be with a man, you have completely disgraced yourself, me, our children, our family, and everything we stand for. There is no turning back from that. I see a lot of wives take husbands back, but there's no turning back.
What's that congressman or that senator or whoever, Andrew Gilliam, down there in Florida? His wife took him back. No judgment. That's them and their covenant with the Lord. But my point is, I'm addressing Glenn's comment, which said that from cheating to HIV and how that escalated quickly. Glenn, this is a real conversation, babe. We're in the real world. The real world.
And this is happening.
So because that could escalate so quickly, so can the diva. Let me find out.
Yeah.
Let me find out.
You're going to learn today.
You're going to learn today. We both going to learn something today.
You're going to learn today.
I think it was a necessary conversation because I think so many times that even though we may be on the right side of biblical principles, okay, we may be on the right side of the moral code and our compass may not be broken. It still is no less devastating when you have to deal with a mate who has stepped outside of the relationship.
Right.
And I just wanted to address the fact, and I needed some of these wives and some of these women, our sisters who are in relationships, the husbands and our brothers who are in relationships to start getting through your head that in this society that we live in today, where everybody wants to be a step up above any and everybody else, that you cannot continue to subscribe to that way of thinking that she's messing with or he's messing with someone that is beneath me. Right. No, baby. Chances are she probably is better. She's not biblically backed like you are, but she probably is. What are you going to do then?
And keep in
How do
mind,
you deal with that?
Some people are looking for, in cheating, someone who will accept their bullshit.
Bullshit.
Some people are cheating because they're looking for someone to accept, and that significant other is pushing you to your limits, to your greatness.
Oh, wait, when they don't want to be stretched.
And they don't want to be stretched.
They don't want to be stretched.
So it's easier to find somebody else to plug into that you have formed in your mind. She's making me feel amazing. And you forgot.
It's because she's not dealing with all of the shit that the wife and the person that he's in a relationship with is dealing with.
Absolutely, Diva. Absolutely.
Is it really fair to make that type of comparison? If you got a wife who's raising small children, if you got a wife who's working full-time hours and possibly a second job and or going to school and raising small children and taking care, especially at our age, elderly parents, you know, dealing with her body changing because women of this particular age are going through different changes in our bodies. Absolutely. Is it really fair to compare her to somebody who could be younger and has not had your children? Right. Who has not been afforded the opportunity to go to the gym 5 and 6 times a week, to buy that expensive ass organic food? Is it really fair? I mean, homegirl ain't had to deal with half of the shit that you done put us through.
Because you taking her to dinner. She don't know what it is to go to the grocery store and strategically pick out what's healthy for you. Yeah. She knows that you take her to that fancy restaurant and y'all eating steak and potatoes and asparagus. That's what she knows. But she don't know about your high cholesterol, your diabetes, your erectile dysfunction from time to time because of the high blood medication that you take. I do my due diligence. This is the conversation that women are having in group chats all across the country and social media. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, right? Absolutely. Okay, she hasn't dealt with your bullshit over the years where you've tricked off money. You didn't know how to manage your finances, and the wife or the significant other has had to stand in the gap, or the husband has had to stand in the gap because you out tricking off money on purses and wigs and clothes that you guys could not afford, but because you wanted to look good, because you wanted, you had to have your nails done. You had to go on that trip with your girls. You needed to go on that cruise. Certain things had to fall by the wayside, or he had to put in the extra hours just to make ends meet. But you're not appreciative of that. So you want to go get a pussy away to somebody else who just had all the time in the world to spend in the gym just to look good. Just to look good. Girl, I did that. Did I not? You did. Speak on it. Speak on it. So that's the thanks they get. That's the thanks. This is the world we live in. Meanwhile, Mr. Chocolate is giving it up to anybody who's willing to accept it. And he's laughing behind your back. And bragging about it too. So not only are you putting your family business out there, but you're making your husband or your wife look like a goddamn fool. Yeah. A fool. A complete fool. Because every time you step outside of your relationship, you put your business in the streets. You think that the person that you sleeping with ain't telling somebody what's going on between the two of you? You think? So let's go back to that story. What story? That's how Derek Jackson. Oh, come on. Got caught up. How long did you think that was going to go on? Because even if she felt she was keeping a secret, she has a friend at home. Well, he flew her and her homegirls out to a yacht to celebrate his birthday. Oh, okay. That's really nice. The audacity. You thought that they like you have children. Like they couldn't have been stashed away in a college fund. You really got money away like that to be tricking? Not my business. Not pocket watching. I'm just saying. And what kind of positions are we putting ourselves as wives where what do you mean? We don't know what's going on in bank accounts? Why do we not know what's going on in bank accounts? Why are we putting ourselves in that position? I feel like we have long left those times where we don't know what's going on in the bank account. We've left those times. That was our granddaddies. In fairness, Miss Ivory, I don't think that we can always go by the blueprint that our forefathers set by us because the times have changed. That's good, the belief system has changed. What worked for our grandparents and our great-grandparents would not and does not typically work in today's society. It just doesn't. Right. I'm sorry. You're right, Diva. You are absolutely right. I could really go deep with that. But for the people who are looking for that, unless you're going to date somebody who's your grandmother, great-grandmother's age, you trying that with this new age society is not just going to work. It's not going to work.
This is not.
It's not going to work. It's so unfortunate. But you know, Diva, let's rewind a little bit.
Okay.
What do you suppose these women of high caliber, how do they feel when the cheating and the appearance is not a step below, but it looks like it is
an upgrade,
or it can appear to be an upgrade?
Okay, it can be an upgrade, Ivy.
Yeah.
I want to keep it in that context, boo.
So
it can be.
Does that mean the marriage is over? Does she leave? Does she end it? Are we done?
I hate to say this. I hate to say this.
May not be me. No.
You gonna make me say this?
Say it, Diva.
Are you gonna make me say this?
Say it, Diva.
I don't think it's left up to her at that point. You see, I don't want to say this, but you're gonna make me say it. I don't want to go there, but you're gonna make me go there. God is a God of free will. We can pray for our spouses or our significant others all day, but in the end, they have the right to choose. And if you have a mate who is so caught up in whatever has them caught up with the person that they are involved with, I think the choice is really theirs. I mean, you can give an ultimatum, you can issue one. I don't know what good that would do.
Right.
I mean, either you're going to leave or you're going to stay. That's unfortunate. Yeah. No one wants to hear that. Trust me, I've been in a position where infidelity has been committed in the marriage. My first marriage, that's why I walked out and never looked back. And he hasn't been the same since. I don't gloat about it because that is a painful thing to remember, to see how God humbled him in a way that he can never forget. But
that's good.
Until whoever has stepped outside of that relationship is done stepping outside of that relationship, until they have repented, until they are ready to cease all the wrongdoing, are you willing to accept what they're going to do in between? In the meantime, because that's essentially what it boils down to. How do they value the relationship? Do they value the relationship, whether it is a marriage or a committed relationship? Do they value it enough to cut all ties and dealings with the other person? Right. And let's just pray that a child hasn't been conceived in the meantime. Ooh, what do you do then? Honey. And the reason that we're having this conversation is not because of just the Derek Jackson story, but I remember a year or so ago, while I was living in a particular place. I mean, I was telling you all the secrets, not all the secrets, but do you remember the story that broke on Cam when he and his beautiful wife, Kia Proctor, when it finally was announced that they weren't together? Well, they had been separated for quite a while before then. If you're in certain circles, you heard the rumblings. I lived in a place where I heard the rumblings. And let me tell you, the woman that he was creeping on Miss Kia with, the woman that he fathered the child with, she's on a Kim Kardashian line. You can say what you want about Miss Kim Kardashian and her fake surgeries and all the fake body part. She's a beautiful woman. At the end of the day, you can't take that away from her. She's a force to be reckoned with. And let me tell you something. If I was ever friends with her, my husband wouldn't be around us. No, we ain't having no. No.
That's knowing what you know. We ain't gonna set them up.
I'm not gonna put that level of temptation in our life. I'm just saying, my woman that
significant other and I had that conversation.
Sometimes you just have to. That's called being a real woman, but a mature woman.
Don't leave her around me, because I know as a man how I'm wired. He was like, "Baby, don't do that." I said, "But I trust you." He said, "I said, don't do that."
Let me tell you, I trust my husband. I do.
But real is real, and he was as real as he can.
When you're talking about a woman of that magnitude, I'm stepping outside. I'm gonna come back to the point.
Circle, it always goes together.
Okay, but listen, when you're talking about a woman who's worth billions of dollars, she's got white privilege behind her. She's got a legacy, body to kill for, whether it's bought or not. Right. She's undeniably beautiful. I'm not gonna put my man in that line of fire. Because if he starts cheating with her, bitch, you belong to both of us. That's for real. I will be a non-sexual lesbian that, no.
We all together.
I'm being real with you.
Yes, sis. Yes.
And you know, it's always the women online that always like to say the insecure ones. You know what? No, I'm a real woman. I'm far, please.
You know, we're far from insecure.
You have to know me to know. Ivory, am I insecure?
Not 1 ounce.
Just a little bit.
Not an inch.
A tiny bit.
Not a gnat worth. And
okay.
A gnat is a small insect.
Okay, so when I tell my audience that it's not about me being insecure by not wanting to place my husband in the line of fire, I mean that.
Yes.
But going back to my point, when the word and the story broke about Mr. Cam Newton and his wife had split and he had fathered a child outside of the relationship, I saw pictures of that woman and I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. I said, oh, wow.
Right.
And that's my thing. When you are faced with not only the impact of infidelity and you are face to face with who now has become your competition.
Speak on it, Diva.
What do you do? Because you know what? All of the conversations that you've been privy to tell you that you are always going to be the better looking one, the better choice, the better built one.
It's always
my sisters, my brothers, the game has changed. And you would be doing yourself a terrible disservice to continue to feed in that mindset. What we got to do, because I got to speak solutions. You just got to make sure that you are grounded, number one, spiritually in the word of God, and that your self-esteem is unshakable.
Right.
No matter what she or he may look like, you got to understand that she wasn't bad enough to get the last name.
And we don't want to give the impression that, this is a visual for you guys. Imagine being in a gym and somebody is lifting weights and they going hard and they lifting and you stand next to them and you say,
"Can you hit that button, Miss Ivory?"
I'm going to lift and I'm going to push and I'm going to lift and I'm going to keep going and I'm going to show them I'm better than them. We don't want egos to be bruised to the extent that you believe that you got to go fall in line with Kim Kardashian per se.
Oh, no.
And make yourself go broke to the bank.
No, that's not
because you don't want the competition. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you now, you can be the baddest bitch, i.e. Beyonce being one of them.
And Halle Berry. She's been cheating on every relationship she's been in.
Every relationship. It don't stop.
But how is it? No, wait a minute. Excuse me. How is it? Is it a lie or no? We're always told that men are visual creatures, right? So how is it these beautiful women keep getting cheated on? Have we been fed a lie? Are the men lying to themselves?
But have we asked what are those women lacking that these men are looking for elsewhere?
Well, being that we will never get those answers, I don't know. But it's time to transition.
Transition?
Yeah.
Like a DJ, bring that record back.
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back to this later, but I got to cover some stuff because this is Soulful Sunday. Now I'm here to talk to you about some stuff. So you and I were talking yesterday. On my second cup of coffee, we were talking about relationships, of course, girlfriends, of course. And I remember saying to you, and it was like a light bulb moment, knowing when you are not received or well, in instances where I have not been received well by other women. And you know me personally. I'm well past the stage of wanting to be accepted. I am what I am. Whatever that may be to you, I am what I am. And I was telling Miss Ivory that certain types of women seem to be drawn to me. I'm not talking about the right kind. I'm not talking about you divas. I'm not talking about y'all divas. I'm talking about them other people. that during the course when certain women are trying to get to know me, because this is that air of mystery of trying to get to know me better, they tend to overshare with me. And I remember having a revelation right there with you at the table. I said, well, Ivory, this has happened. And, I meet a person and then they want to talk about everything that they're going through. They want to share all the details of their relationships. They want to just get in the nitty gritty of the personal things that are going on in their lives. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel the same way. I may engage with you, but there's no reciprocity because I don't feel that way about you. Right. I don't feel as comfortable with you sharing any private details about my life just for the sake of you dumped all of this on me. And I think that causes women to resent other women because you're oversharing too soon, potentially in an attempt to trauma bond.
Looking for a common interest,
thinking that she may be experiencing what you may be experiencing in your relationship, and then you get resentful when she has nothing to share. You want to expand on our conversation?
As we were talking yesterday, some people, women, because we're talking about our girlfriend relationships right now, simply do that because their heart is not in the right place.
What do you mean by that?
I'm gonna dump it on you.
Oh, girl, I've been dumped on all afternoon. What? Go ahead.
My husband ain't shit.
Oh, and come on now.
He ain't acting right, and girl, he doing this and he doing that, and it might be a little infidelity and blah blah blah. So now I'm finished. Well, what your husband doing? Tell me what your husband's doing so we can bond and we can trash.
You really want to have that conversation with me? Do you really want to have that conversation with me? Yes, no, I'm speaking from Angela to Ivory. Do you want to have that conversation with me? Are you sure? Because we're on the mic.
We're on the mic. Let's talk about it. We're keeping it real with the people, right?
Yeah.
So I done told you.
Okay. I'm gonna put my bowl of fruit down.
Put your bowl down and let's get with it.
True story. I'd met this woman who was a part of a pack. Moments before, an hour or two before my show, her husband had disappeared. She decided to share with me and my husband, in the absence of her husband, that her husband was fucking around on her out of nowhere. We as two women hadn't connected with one another like that on that level. We had never had a conversation on that level of intimacy ever before. And here she was sharing this information with me and my husband, and her husband was my husband's friend.
And what does she want?
That's the girl. Stop jumping ahead of me. So I had to let it go because she's giving me this information. I hadn't thought of them or their relationship to even, it just didn't register. Like, I only know you two as a couple. I'm not interested in what the two of you have going on as a couple or individually. I was there to do one thing. And she started sharing. And from that, in an effort to appease my man, having the concern that I'm a loner and wanting me to engage with other females, I decided to take her up on a lunch date. Big mistake. This woman gets me out and then further dumps on the shenanigans and the fuckery of her husband. Now, mind you, I get asked somewhere in the conversation, well, do you think blah, 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 your husband does this? I said, well, if he has, I don't know about it. And if he does, he better pray to God I never find out. But as far as I know, we don't have those problems.
Good answer to you.
It's the truth.
What was she looking for?
What were you looking for? And do you know that was the beginning? That was the beginning of something greater that led to an enormous mountain of satanic attacks from said people. You are oversharing and expecting the next woman to do what? What are you expecting from the next woman when you start telling her your personal business? A, that she didn't ask for, B, she not trying to hear, and C, she has not experienced. That's for you to answer.
So, in that case, I truly believe that women, because we've spoke on this on a previous show, that use those situations to bond, which we know is a form of trauma bonding. They want to develop friendships. And just as easy as they were to spill themselves to a stranger, because at that point, you were a stranger to her.
I'm still a stranger to her.
You're still a stranger to her, as you stated. Any information you would have dumped into her lap would have been shared with numerous of people. Because the ultimate goal was I am miserable. I'm going through something.
True.
And if you can share a little bit about what you're going through, because I know he got to be doing it because they're friends. So if you reveal to me, now I don't feel like I'm in that place by myself. Now we girlfriends based on our no good husbands. But you changed the game and the narrative.
Oh, but see, you're going to make me go there. Don't make me go there. I've had a little bit of wine.
Go there.
Okay. Can I go there?
Go there.
Okay, this is girlfriend conversation on Soulful Sunday, right?
Sunday.
Okay, maybe your man can get away with that with you because of the type of woman that you are. My man would never and could never try that with me because of the caliber of woman that I am. You see, you stay and deal with that bullshit because maybe you don't have any other options, but I know who I am, first of all, in God. And I know who I am, first of all, if I just needed to be shallow, if I wanted to be vain, I know who I am. I ain't crazy. I do have a mirror or two in my house and in my truck. So, if we must go there, my man knows what he has.
And he knows how far or not to go, period.
See, your man,
that's good.
Your man can do that with you because maybe you don't have the options that I have. I'm not held prisoner in no relationship. Yeah. I will not accept abuse under any circumstances.
Absolutely.
Love does not hold me hostage or in bondage.
Come on now.
It does not.
Speak on it.
And furthermore, we teach people how to treat us. Yeah. So when you stayed, no, let me back it up. So you made me go there and I didn't want to go there.
Come on.
You made me go there, and I didn't want to go there.
We kicking it with the people.
We kicking it?
We kicking it
in front of people.
In front of people.
Okay, when you start off as the side chick and then you end up marrying the dude that you was creeping around, what the fuck you expect?
How you got him?
It's how you losing.
Come on now.
You was the side chick in his other marriage, bitch. What did you expect?
How you got him?
I didn't get my man under those pretenses. We prayed for each other. Literally. It's crazy how we got together.
And it came together.
And it came into fruition.
Yes.
We're not above anybody else. We have problems just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
But I tell you one thing, what makes me a classy woman and what makes me a woman of a particular caliber is I pick and choose who I share myself and my story with. I protect my relationship. Be sure to tune in to that episode on this coming Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I pick and choose. Don't ever think that because you call yourself my friend, that I relax my standards in this full reciprocity because you choose to want to share that with me. Now I'm not a bitch. I will engage you. I will encourage you. I will tell you what to do under the right sort of circumstances based on the scriptures and my good heart. But don't you dare think that I owe you any amount of private details about my life just because you dumped on me and I didn't ask for that. Do you understand me? And that's where a lot of females get it twisted. You think I owe you something because you told me some of your personal business. Well, sis, make sure that we feel that way about each other. Make sure that you are on that particular level in my life before you start pouring your business into me, and then you get mad because I don't have anything to report to you. Because even if I did have something to report, sis, you wouldn't be my go-to person.
That part. Explanation.
Are we going to talk about this shit? Are we going to talk about it?
Explanation point. That
if I did have something that was going on between me and my man, okay, the man that I lay up with, it wouldn't be you, boo.
Okay.
It wouldn't be you. Not even on a bad day. And definitely not on a good day.
Because I'm not desperate enough to dump just anywhere.
Because
I'm protecting.
But see, here's the thing, though. Even when you're having problems, you still have to be able to multitask. You need to be able to experience the problem with your man and still protect the privacy of what you're going through and the relationship. See, it is my obligation to still cover my man, even if I need to share something with somebody to get the encouragement and the inspiration to push forward and to make sure that we get out of this storm. So I ain't sharing shit with you when you haven't earned that spot in my life.
Speak on it.
Got that? You see, I'm a woman of many skill sets. Multitasking is at the top, baby. I can have a problem. I can share it with my nana or with my sister or my sis. Depending on who you are, and it's less than 5 fingers. And I still have protected and preserved the privacy of my relationship, and my husband is still covered. Nobody that I can confide in will ever judge my man or my marriage based on the confidential conversations that we're having in my moment of weakness and despair.
Speak on it.
And see, that is what that woman, and I use that term loosely, lacked. The fact that you can sit here and talk about your man like that and expose two complete strangers and expose his wrongdoings and his missteps and his mishaps and the history of his missteps and mishaps to me, who you do not know, showed me what kind of woman you were and showed me what he saw in you as well.
But let me take it even deeper.
Go. You want to go deeper?
We will
you
have
sound like my husband. Let me go deeper. Go ahead, boo. Oh my goodness. Go ahead.
Animal line, y'all.
I ain't gonna. No. Go ahead.
So, what are we to do as women when we believe our dumping grounds are with our true sisters?
Okay.
So we've labeled them.
Okay.
We think we got 20-year relationships with women.
Okay.
10 years, 7 years.
Go there. Keep going.
You know,
okay.
We think we have that. And then we feel like she's a safe place without understanding that longevity of a friendship doesn't mean that she's the safe place. She may be good for something, but baby girl, that ain't it. I have learned that the hard way. I have relationships with women that go back as 30 years. She is not that place. And I had to learn that the hard way.
See, what people don't realize is growth in life is more than your body parts and aging in years. And I speak about that on Friday's show. Some of you women have 20, 30, no, as few as 5 years and as many as 40 years of friendships. That's what you call it, with a particular woman or women. And you relax your standards because you've invested so many years into this friendship that you set yourself up and leave yourself wide open for an attack. You think that this person means you good.
Right.
And you don't know how they've grown in certain areas or failed to grow. You weren't paying attention.
And people are good for telling you what they would do.
Sometimes that sister that's telling you to throw your man and your marriage away is the one waiting right there by the garbage can to get him.
Honey, you better talk.
You better be careful. Y'all better wake up. Some of y'all being way too naive.
Girl. Speak on it, Diva.
Oh, she's so nice. Oh, she's so Christian. Them be the main fools. This woman that I'm talking about. Can I? No. I need you to hear me.
Yes.
When my husband used to talk about said individuals.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the labels and the titles that person wore. Oh, she's such a godly and a Christian woman.
Yes.
Girl, if y'all don't go sit down somewhere with that mess, if that is the epitome, if that is the essence of a Christian woman, I'll gladly change religions.
Right.
On God,
right.
I would. On God. And let me take it a step further.
God's name on
Wait a minute.
something.
I was right all along. I'll just leave it at that. Months and months and months of Satan running amok.
Yeah.
Of his legions of demons having their way.
Yeah. Auntie?
She showed her hand. Showed her hand. You better be careful who y'all allow
in your space.
In your space, just because you think they're a woman or a man of God. Some people hide behind that title and do the most.
And sometimes people just hide behind woman. You know, we are trained to believe that we should trust woman because woman has my best interest at heart.
You know, I ain't trained that way.
Right. She is.
You know, I'm not trained that way. I need to make that clear.
Yeah, you are not.
I'm not. You earn your trust with me.
Many of us are. And it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate, sis. Very unfortunate to lay yourself out and to come to find out that's not the place I should have laid it out at. Definitely not the place. At all.
You know what's funny too? I saw this post, girl. Listen, this post said, it was so messy. Can you hear that? We're about to wrap it up, my friends. This post said something along the lines of, for those of you who have been side chicks or you've been a mistress all along, when you get a husband, do you still pray that he's faithful or something like that?
Messy.
Well,
messy boots.
It's true. It's a good question. So while this person was dumping and sharing with me every chance they got, or making a spectacle of the two of them when they would be on the scene, you could tell something was wrong by her actions. Did you really expect a faithful man? Look how you got him. You told me the history. And it didn't start with you. You participated.
So what was special about you that made you think it would stop with you?
Because once upon a time, I'm going to go back. Once upon a time, body-wise, you was a bad bitch.
Well, you know.
So the bad bitch won and ended up with the same results. That part.
Because there's always another bad bitch.
It's always going to be someone prettier, someone whose waist
healthier,
is just as snatched.
Wig is to die for.
Or maybe they don't even need a wig.
Face is beat to the gauze.
Beat to the gauze, or maybe they bad with not an inkling of makeup.
Because some of us have the true beauty of makeup or not.
Well, I'm not cute without any of it, and I have to wear my wigs and makeup.
She telling y'all a story. I done seen her naked.
I'm just having a little fun. Breaking up the intensity.
Yeah.
But I say to those, because we've had a really spirited discussion. I was talking to someone, and I got to be careful how I tell the story because I'm going to give it away. I was talking to someone that was sharing a story of someone that the two of us knew. And the person shared that the female that the two of us knew was the mistress when this person was married. And that they were successful in getting the person out of their marriage and marrying them. And the person that's telling me the story says, well, I ran across the wife, the former wife, And, of course, because she's such a sweet person, and she was describing the wife. I don't know the first wife. She was describing the wife, and she was like, I don't miss such and such at all. I don't have to worry about nobody coming in my house, the FBI raiding my house for drugs. I don't have to worry about my house being shot up. I don't have to worry about any of that. I don't have to lay up at night worrying about who he's laying up with because he ain't come home. That's her problem now. She wanted him, she got him.
Yeah, and everything that goes with him.
So I said that to say, in contrast to another girlfriend of mine who's never been married, who has this teenage view of marriage, men don't leave their wives. Bitch, yes, they do. They leave.
Every day.
They do.
How them kids say it?
Every day. But you know what? It doesn't mean she's going to get any better treatment than you did, baby. So for those of you who may have experienced a heartbreaking or a heart-shattering betrayal,
speak on it,
from the person that you are in a relationship with. I know we've had a good time. The Diva and Miss Ivory K have shared a little bit of personal journey with you. You have to know that at the end of the day, anybody that left you was never tied to your destiny.
Come on.
Your story is not over just because they left. Yes. And whoever was successful in taking them away from you, I need you to think of it like this. If they were successful in taking them away from you, was it something that God saw in that situation that benefited you? Did they take away something that could have potentially led to your death or imprisonment?
Speak on it.
Because the raid that could come through at 3 o'clock in the morning will no longer happen at your house. It will happen at her house.
Yes.
Or his house. Okay? That HIV, that AIDS that he may or she may contract will no longer be transmitted to your body, but in the person that took them away from you's body. You won't have to experience that. It's all kind of ways you can look at the good that will come from them. So just because they were successful in tearing down what you thought you had built and solidified does not mean that they won. I just need you to know that.
Don't be defeated.
Don't have that spirit of defeat.
What God has for you is for you. You pick yourself up. What Aaliyah say?
Girl, why is my phone blowing up like that?
Because people need to talk to the D.
Girl, wait your turn.
I've waited. I'm ready for my turn, Diva.
I want to encourage my listeners to understand that everybody has a story. All of us have a story.
Absolutely.
All of us have a journey. The details of that journey is your own personal business. You share it if you want to share it. Nobody has to know. You just need to respect the next person and know that they have a story. You shouldn't be trying to figure out what the next man or woman is going through. Stay in your lane, mind your business, because as sure as life would have it, life will happen to you in your relationship. Be prepared. And to my sisters, because DivaSpeaks Relationship is from a woman's perspective, and even though we invite the men to the table, it is ultimately the women that have the last say. So I'm going to leave you with this. To any and all of my sisters who may have experienced a heartbreak that nobody else knows about. Maybe you've cried at night because you felt like you were not in a position to compete. Maybe it had something to do with your weight. Maybe it had something to do with you don't feel as pretty. You feel like you're not bringing as much to the table. You're feeling hopeless because you have nothing to do with the way that you look. You were just born like this. And the very type of woman that he told you he wasn't interested in is the woman that he's went out and cheated on you with. And you are feeling
Speak to us, Diva.
Lost, disconnected. Sis, I was sent here for you today. Because my plans for today was to lay in bed all day and watch my favorite paranormal shows all day long and eat junk food. Miss Ivory can tell you. I just wanted a peaceful day for Gayla.
Her self-care Sunday.
It was my self-care Sunday. And I called Miss Ivory and I said, something about what we talked about, we need to do a show. And I'm on Facebook Live.
She did.
Listen, sis, it's not the end of the world, baby. And if you stay focused on improving you at your own pace.
For you.
For you.
Yes.
For you. You're going to see some amazing results. I dare not speak for God. I'm not that type of person. I'm not a false prophet. But I'm telling you, sis, you're not hearing this message by mistake. This is for you. I don't want you to get lost in depression and darkness and feeling like you are not worthy of love. They may have temporarily lost their minds, but if you just focus on loving you, taking care of yourself, you'll come out on the other side. I promise you, you will. I promise you, you will. No revenge. Fight the urge, resist the urge to be angry and bitter. Fight through that. That's a setback from the enemy. That keeps you in bondage. Understand, you will have the last word and say and laugh. Leave the bitterness, the anger, and the revenge to those who don't serve a God like yours. Leave that for those folk. I want you to take better care of yourself. I want you to enhance your prayer life. I want you to stay connected to DivaSpeaks Relationships because I am here for you. I'm that chick. I'm your girl. I'm that woman. You know, if don't nobody else know, that I speak to what you're feeling. You know I do. I'm here for you, girl. You still bad. You're still beautiful. You can teach him how to treat you in this moment by what you do next. Amen. I'm talking to you as if you are Miss Ivory K or my flesh and blood sister or my flesh and blood other best friend. I'm talking to you guys right now how I talk to them. You want to determine how your outcome is going to be? Watch what you're doing in this moment. You want to turn this thing around? It all starts right now with what you do next. What you do next matters. It matters. You want to teach him that you are a force to be reckoned with? Enhance that prayer life. Start taking better care of yourself. I don't care how beautiful you think you are. The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. Drink more water, sis. Some of you need to let them wigs go. Your husband, your man ain't even feeling that no more. He wants you to get back to that raw, unadulterated beauty. I'm talking to somebody.
Indeed, you are.
I'm talking to somebody.
You are, Dave.
And for my sisters who may be battling weight, this is your moment to shine. Change it up today. You want your relationship back? You want your man's attention back? You show him by how to treat you, by what you do in this moment. Anger, bitterness, yelling, fights, that ain't gonna get anything accomplished. Focus the attention on you, your sensuality, your sexuality, how you pamper yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you connect with God. It matters. You want to get your man's attention? Stop focusing on the attention that he's giving to someone else. He'll come. And if he doesn't, he did you a favor. But you will forever cement how he treats you by what you do in this moment. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to DivaSpeaks Relationship on this soulful soul food Sunday. I have enjoyed talking to you. And if you liked it, if you was blessed by the message, listen, I don't want to be crass, but you can bless my Cash App with little coins here and there. The diva needs some more lighting. I do my shows. I film my shows from home. I welcome you into my home each second and fourth Friday night at 11 p.m. Don't forget, I want to see you guys at my home on this Friday night, where the topic is protecting your relationship. I'm going to talk to you diva to woman to man, about protecting your relationship with the same amount of energy and effort that you do your homes, your bank account, your children, and your family. We're going to talk about it. So bless that cash out with some money, some coins. I don't care if it's $1. It can get me a cup of coffee at McDonald's if I'm out in those streets. Thought bopping. I'm just.
She had to break it up.
I had to break up the intensity.
Yeah.
Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, do so today. Tell a friend or two about DivaSpeaks Relationships. Tell a friend or two about the talk show. Like literally, guys, the Diva is televised. Like I ain't just saying I'm on TV. Like I'm on your actual television. Your 75-inch, your 60-inch, your 42-inch television. You can see me every second and fourth Friday. Go to my social media pages to find out when and how you can see me. You can talk to me. I'm on my couch talking to you. But if you want me to get a little bit brighter, bless that cash out. It's in the what do I call it? It's in the chat room. The $, Angela, Angala, Palmore, P as in principal, ALMORE, gal, G as in go for it, AL, Angela, Palmore, gal. Bless that cash out. I appreciate all of you guys. And we're going to keep it real and we're going to keep it going because that's what we do. Miss Ivory K, I want to thank you so much for blessing DivaSpeaks Relationship Podcast with your presence, your conversations, your thoughts, your intensity, your authenticity. You are truly blessed. You are truly appreciated. I love you from the depths of my soul, from the bottom of my heart, because our relationship has withstood the test of times. It is now that I can be able to finally rest in your presence, and I consider it a privilege to be able to share with you, not only in front of the world, but in personal settings, my truest heart's desires and the things that I be experiencing on a personal level. Because guys, I'm a real female. I go through stuff.
She is.
I go through things. I cry about a lot of things that you guys probably would think is silly.
Thank you for having me, Diva. I love you.
I love you more.
I look forward to this.
We're going to thought bop it together when this show is over. So guys, before I go, so we was in one of these little cheesy shops. Like we like to go get the little sexy gear for, for the men's. And, there's a commercial that goes around that says hot pockets. Mm-hmm. So Miss Ivy K held up a shirt and she wanted my opinion of it. And I was like, it's good if you're going to thought bop it. Everybody in the store, they lost their minds.
They were tickled, okay? And that's just what we do. We have true, authentic girlfriend time. And I will say that if you don't have that, I pray that you will find that in your life. At least one. Everyone's deserving of one. And if you can have a handful, bless you even further. But I pray that you find that because it's indeed healthy and it's needed. Be open, be true, be authentic, be real, be woman.
Woman.
That's who God created you to be. Sis, you got this.
You got this.
You got this.
Oh, I'm feeling that. Good. Keep going, boo. That's you doing something here.
You got this, sis. You got this. The diva has spoken. She has laid it before you. It was for somebody. May not be for everybody.
It is not for everybody.
100 people listening and it reaches one. We are so grateful that we had the opportunity to speak with you, that you listened, that you tuned in, that you watched, whatever via platform you're on.
By the way, I'm everywhere.
She is.
There's no excuse for not listening to DivaSpeaks Relationship podcast.
Look, I creep on her platform. She don't be knowing though, but I be creeping like, ooh, Diva, you brought it.
Oh,
send a little text message.
I know you mean like.
I'll be like, hey.
Girl, I'm gonna take you from that man of yours.
Okay.
Side joke.
That's my little side boo. I'm a little side boo because I got my main boo already.
Okay.
But that's our little joke. Y'all don't worry about that.
Yeah, right. Don't have Jorge come over here.
Right. Okay.
Stump both of us.
I don't need that. I want no problems.
Did you just get an attitude? Did you just get an attitude?
I don't want no problems.
He could be very problematic,
I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems.
You feel all that Dominican rage. They just mad for no reason.
But we love you, bro. We love you. Okay. I want to put that out there because I know my brother's listening.
Okay.
So it was a great time.
I'm sorry, the liquor talking. And you know, it's during the worst times that I found out that he listened to a show.
See?
He tends to he weaponizes the things that I say on my show against me. Didn't you just say in that show that this is? I'm like, wow.
Didn't you teach the women? So why you ain't?
Right.
You know how it is, girl.
Because I'm a real woman.
Yeah.
I have real problems.
Mm-hmm.
I go through real things. I'm not trying to be more than what I am.
No.
I'm not above nobody.
And when the diva said we cry, we cry. Y'all may think it's minute, but when we need to cry, we cry.
You know when it's a good cry? When I need to take the wig off.
Girl.
That's when you know, okay, she really going through something.
Girl, what? Let it out. But that bounce back is resilient, and we bounce back every time. And if we can do it, you can do it. Thank you, Diva. It was such a blessing. Always is. I had all of her this weekend, y'all. I'm feeling full. You know, hello Saturday. Hello
Sunday. You're so silly. Oh my
goodness.
I love my audience. I just love my audience. Thank you guys who are in the chat room right now. You are appreciated. Thank you for tuning in to DivaSpeaks Relationship on this Sunday. If you've actually enjoyed the show, you know, you can send me an email and force Miss Ivory K to surrender some of her downtime to the show. You can always email me. My email address is divaspeaksofficial@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram where I give you your daily dosage of relationship encouragement, inspiration, and just things to think about. Both sides of the coin sometimes need to be inspected before you form an opinion. You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is DivaSpeaks, the little _ official. Once again, DivaSpeaks, the _ official. You can find me on Facebook, where I also have a Facebook group. It's facebook.com/TrueDivaSpeaks, as well as my website. If this is your first time hearing about my talk show that is televised, go to my website or the television station's website. Let me give it to you. My website is not the word, the symbol. So let's do this. diva-speaks-official.com. That is my website. It is a one-stop shop for all things Diva Speaks related. And you can go to tvaccess21.com, go to the videos on demand section, and catch up on the 2 videos that remain on the site. I just found out that they erased my content after 6 weeks. So I'm working on that, guys, to make sure that you guys have access to all of the shows that have been previously televised. Until the next time, just know that you are loved. You are appreciated. If you need relationship advice, you can always email me. I keep it anonymous, divaspeaksofficial@gmail.com, as well as coming soon, I am going to throw my hat in the arena for matchmaking. I got too many wonderful single males who are looking for wonderful single women, and it is time I connect all of you. It's just when it goes good, it's good. When it goes bad, keep me out of it. But anyway, look forward to that, as well as Diva Speaks. The card game will be coming out sometime this year. I love you guys. Stay blessed. Stay prayed up. Until the next time, the Diva has spoken.